people think that by being an entrepreneur and by solving a problem, they'll naturally have marketing and naturally have sales come in, and that is not true. You have to have marketing and sales skills, and you have to have specific marketing and sales actions. A few weeks ago, I did a public-facing survey on LinkedIn with some pretty interesting results. I was looking for ideas of topics that you specifically want me to address on this Wealthy White Coat podcast. And it was very interesting to see the diversity of degrees that were tuning in already. We had pharmacists after my own heart, but also MDs, DOs, PAs, RNs, and even health tech founders who were interested in learning more about increasing their earning power and having a wealthy life overall. Just to share some of the statistics that I gathered, because I find them fascinating, the current earning power for about 44% of the respondents was less than $100,000 a year, while 40% was $100,000 to $250,000 a year, and 13% had over $250,000 a year as their earning power. What I was most interested in were those specific topics you want me to address on the podcast. And there was a clear winner. The one thing that people most wanted to hear was how to effectively market yourself and how to run a profitable business, with second place coming in at creating digital products, building that first side hustle. People want to know how to effectively market yourself. So we are going to talk about that in the next episode, but not in today's episode. Today's episode, I really want to make sure have the same understanding and verbiage about what these buzzwords mean that you hear all the time. But chances are, if you're thinking about starting a business or just starting a business, you kind of think they're all the same, but they are not the same, I assure you. So I want to break down what these are and do kind of a business 101 class into the difference between entrepreneurship, marketing, and sales. Because people use these three words interchangeably: entrepreneurship, marketing, sales, but they are not the same. They're definitely connected, but they're not the same thing. So I'm going to use specific examples to break them down for you, you smarty pant white coats, to understand what the differences are between them so that you can dominate and do well in each category. Because chances are, if you're a founder, you're doing this all yourself. So you don't have teams yet that you can put in different buckets of these business skills to have. And plus, I really think you have to master it yourself before you can effectively hire people to do those roles for you. So let's talk about the first basic role, which is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is pretty basic. It's creating a new business venture and really involves identifying a need in a market and developing a product or service to meet that need. That's it. The goal of entrepreneurship is that you're just solving a problem. So, for example, let's just use the story of a fictional character. We'll say Devin. Devin saw a problem in his community that precision medicine didn't exist. So he conducted some market research and found that there's a demand for help teaching people why medications don't work the same for everyone. So he set out to solve this by creating his precision medicine education program, complete with unique downloadable resources and one-on-one help. This is an example of entrepreneurship. It is simply solving a problem. And people think that by being an entrepreneur and by solving a problem, they'll naturally have marketing and naturally have sales come in. And that is not true. You have to have marketing and sales skills, and you have to have specific marketing and sales actions. The actions that create a solution to the problem are not the same actions that draw people to you, and they're not the same actions that have people hand over a credit card to you. They all layer on each other. So entrepreneurship is really simple. It's just solving a problem and creating that solution for the world. Marketing is promoting that product or service to others. And marketing is simply just telling people about your business and letting people know that you exist. If no one knows about your unique solution, then you just can't help them. The primary goal of marketing is just to create awareness and interest in the product or service. The goal of marketing is not to close sales. The goal of marketing is just for people to know about you, be aware of you, and for really good marketing, to take the feedback you're getting from people and include that into what you're putting out into the world. So let's just use the example of Mr. Devin again. So Continuing with Devin's personalized medicine program example, he used marketing strategies such as posting on social media every day, partnering with community leaders, and having educational lectures to create awareness and interest in his products. He's talking about this from multiple angles in his community. He also conducts market research to understand the needs and preferences of potential customers. And this helped him create a unique brand identity and positioning in a community that really resonated with his target audience. So part of marketing is doing market research, and that may sound really complicated and like you need an MBA for it. And I assure you, as a girl who does not have an MBA, that market research doesn't have to be that fancy. You can just ask people who are interested in what you're doing, like, what's interesting about it? What would they like more of? What do they not know? What problems do they have? Market research is really just talking to people. Well, not talking to people, it's talking with people and hearing their problems and how they would like a solution. It's just listening. So market research is a lot of listening and just asking questions rather than putting on your blinders and assuming that like, I have this amazing solution for the world. Here, world, you need to hear about it. Yes, you're promoting what you do, but also taking a lot of time to listen how people are responding to your first messages on what it is you want to build, and taking that feedback to create that unique brand identity and position that really resonates with people instead of just like speaking out into the void and hoping that people love what you do and want to move forward with you. So that's an example of marketing, just getting eyeballs on the solution and talking to people what they want. So we've covered marketing, we've covered entrepreneurship. Now we get to cover sales. This is my favorite part of the trifecta is sales. Sales are the actual process of selling a product or service to a customer. Here you're making pitches, negotiating deals, and actually closing sales and having new customers. And the goal of sales is to generate revenue and increase profits. For example, once Devin created awareness and interest in his innovative program through marketing, he put on his sales hat and then began the process of selling the service to his customers. He identified potential customers he'd attracted and then used sales techniques such as personalized pitches and new product launches and promotions to close deals and actually increase sales. So that's an example of sales. Sales is simply charging for your services and making money. So among entrepreneurship, marketing, and sales, why do we confuse these three so much? And why do we all kind of think they're the same thing when we first start business or think about starting a business? And that's easy. It's because most white coat business owners simply don't know the difference between these three roles. And we have no experience to tell us otherwise. And we truly feel like doing one thing is the same as all three. I'll say that again. We feel like doing one effort in one of these spaces is doing all three. It's like having a three-legged stool, but only using one of the legs. Oh, let me explain. So you can do one of each of these roles and assume you're doing all three. Let me break it down. If you're doing the entrepreneur emphasis, you're just focusing on your solution for the world, then you have created an amazing solution for a very specific problem that the world has. Then, as an entrepreneur, you're sitting on that solution and spending all of your time perfecting your website in case someone happens to search for you on Google, but you never actually put yourself out there and talk about it. You never broadcast what you're doing to the world, and you just create the solution and then sit on it and hope that people just find you and pay you money. So the entrepreneur emphasis, you feel really passionate about your solution, that it can change the world, but you're spending all of your time on the solution, but not getting it in front of people. The second one-legged stool way you can spend all of your time is in marketing emphasis. And if you're on marketing emphasis, you really focus your efforts on just generally putting yourself out there. And these people think that attention alone will make people stampede down the door to work with them without a crystal clear solution for a specific group of people or an easy way to work with clients. And marketing emphasis people really focus on their efforts of like social media. They really want to go viral and like hope that like by going viral and getting so many eyeballs in front of them, then that will jumpstart them into a healthy business. Then people will start paying them money, and then they can figure out the exact way of working with people that they want. They're just trying to do a lot of things and hoping that the number of people that see them will be like I'm imagining like spark plugs for your car, like the jump start for your business, that if just enough people know about you, then you have a business. It doesn't work. And thirdly, there's the sales emphasis. So we've had entrepreneur emphasis, marketing emphasis. Now it's the sales emphasis. These people spend all of their time wanting the cash, and they want it right now. They have an offer for their world, and they really spend all of their time and energy trying to hunt down people to buy from them. They haven't taken the time to do market research to find the exact group of people looking for them and create a compelling offer just for them based on the feedback of how that group wants to work with them. With sales emphasis, they have a checkout page, they have a Stripe account, they're ready to take sales, and they're just trying to hunt people down to convince them to make a sale with them rather than having, the three-legged stool off. They're just focusing on sales. So the above three-legged stool of your business can't stand with only one functional leg. You can't be an entrepreneur and only focus on the solution. You can't be marketing only emphasis and just put yourself out there and hope that converts into dollars. And you can't be so focused on dollars that you're not creating compelling marketing and getting the feedback of the solution people want to create for them in the first place. So despair not, you future wealthy white coats. I want to talk about how to solve this one-legged stool problem and how to diversify your efforts so you actually have functional entrepreneurship, marketing, and sales as part of your baby business or growing business model. And it's really easily solved with minimalist entrepreneurism. If you're not familiar with this model, it's simply to build in public and validate your business idea quickly from the get-go and only build what people tell you they actually want from you. Working in this way allows you to spend your time simultaneously marketing and creating a solution as you go, while gathering feedback for exactly how sales can be easy. When people tell you exactly what they want from you, you can give it to them. And it's so easy and natural to make sales and close customers. So I think we should put our little entrepreneur Devin through two scenarios and see which makes more sense, just to illustrate this point. I really want to illustrate the point of how this is done and not just talk in vague business lingo. So here's the broken way of working that people traditionally want to start their business this way. The broken way of working without solid entrepreneurship, marketing, and sales would be to do something like this. So let's say our Mr. Devin wants to start a company. He spends a year building his business in secret. He's too scared to share what he's doing with his friends and his family because he only wants to share with them what he's doing once he's a success. And once he's proven that it works, until then, he only wants to attract anonymous people online who don't know who he is because he doesn't want to put himself out there and be a beginner in front of his colleagues and his friends. So he kind of builds his business in secret. He spends $5,000 on a website with all the features and links. He comes up with the perfect name, a world-class logo. He writes on his blog on this website every month for a year, but nobody but his mom reads it because no one knows who he is. He gets some extra credentials to really buoy up his expertise, and he posts online a few times a month about booking a discovery call with him, but only 2 people do, and only 1 moves forward. Devin's frustrated and tired. He spent a year building, but no one cares. Yet he knows his solution is so helpful, he just needs people to catch on to what he's doing. People are vaguely interested, but no one really knows who he is and no one's throwing cash at him. Yes, Devin, nobody cares because no one knows who you are and how you can help them. And you haven't been talking to people along the way to make that solution that you've created exactly what the people on the receiving end want. So now let's flip it. Let's do the smart, streamlined way of working for Mr. Devin, shall we? So smart Mr. Devin is interested in building a personalized medicine practice. So he starts scrappy by just telling all of his friends and family what he wants to build. He asks openly for referrals. He eagerly sees anyone and everyone who expresses interest in what he's doing free of charge just for the experience. With that free experience, he sees what his guinea pigs liked, what they didn't like, and what they wanted more of. He's also presenting this month at 3 senior center events, 1 health fair, and 2 presentations for teen behavioral health clinics. He just wants to get comfortable talking about the value of personalized medicine, his unique solution, and getting in the habit of collecting emails of anyone interested in his topic. He posts online daily on his social media account. And then he doesn't stop there. He takes 15 to 30 minutes every day to engage with popular social media groups in his community and just answers any medication and health-related question he sees. He's doing this because he's gathering interest, getting a pulse for how people feel, and creating a solution that's easy for people to say yes to. He also schedules 5 visits a month to any clinic in the area that may be interested in partnering with him. Then, 6 months later, after this consistent effort of gathering data and talking about a specific topic, he finally launches his first paid solution and has a group of emails and contacts who know him, like him, and trust him, and are excited about what he's been building in public. Oh, and Devin still doesn't have a proper website or a state-of-the-art logo, just a landing page to help people take that next step forward with him and collect their personal information. Well done, Devin. Well done. That's why I love minimalist entrepreneurship. When you build in public from day one, it forces you to begin marketing on day one. It helps you create a solution that people actually want and gives you an excellent pulse for sales options that will convert. Because it turns out, when you build relationships and an audience, people tell you exactly what they want, and you get the fun job of giving it to them. So I would encourage you this week, as you're either looking to start a business or starting that business, considering how you're spending your time. Is it an uneven amount of time between 1, like creating that solution, 2, telling people about the solution, or 3, creating a compelling offer that people have told you that they want, an easy way to work with you to move forward? Because if you just put the blinders on and build in private and then suddenly release to the public months later, like, no one knows who you are. And so you have to take the time to build in each of these 3 buckets to have a healthy and successful business that people know about, they like, and the solution is exactly what they want. I hope this helps to set a framework for just basic business 101 so we understand what we're talking about. So when we're talking about building your own brand and marketing yourself effectively, you know what marketing is. Marketing yourself effectively is different than entrepreneurship or sales. And we're going to jump into that in future shows. But I just wanted Foundation 101 of what these buzzwords are, how they're different, and how smart business owners think about them and allocate their time so each of these buckets is being filled and they can move forward quickly, efficiently, and most of all, profitably.